This is an interesting one, especially with the breaking news over the past weekend confirming the end of the transfer saga between Barcelona and Nico Williams, as Nico Williams kind of shocked the world by signing an 8-year contract extension with Atletico Bilbao when you had a lot of reporters basically saying that this deal is basically done. Nico Williams wants to join Barcelona and has agreed on personal terms, and he kind of just turns around. Bilbao turns around and says this is not happening, and he just re-signed an 8-year deal. This transfer rumor that we're more focusing on today with Marcus Rashford becomes much more of a possibility, as it's basically confirmed by Ruben Amorim and Man United that he is not part of the plans going forward. Yes, Rafinha and Lamine Yamal and Lewandowski, he's getting a little bit older, but they have a great front three. But bit of a hot take, but I think he would be really good, especially with the way Hansi Flick plays, kind of that fast flowing football, high press football. I think if Rashford just gets that heart back, I think he'll be a dangerous player and has the desire to press. If he gets that back, he'll be dangerous. And especially with Hansi Flick loving to play in the counterattack as well and be goals, goals, goals. I'm going to continue on my optimistic wave this episode, and I'm going to say that Montreal's going to finish with 85 or more points this season. I think they're going to do it. I think they'll finish with more than 85 points and make the playoffs. And hopefully we'll make a deep run this year. But we'll see. They just have to stay locked in, and every game they have to treat as a Stanley Cup final. I do think the expansion of the Camp Nou and the renovations of the Camp Nou will definitely give Barca increased home advantage. They've already had, in my opinion, a home advantage to begin with playing at the Camp Nou before. So just expanding the capacity and renovating the stadium will definitely help that. Especially Barcelona coming off a very strong season, falling short in the Champions League, unluckily, I would say, but also winning the league and the League Cup, I believe, the Copa del Rey. They won more than one trophy this year. They had a good season under Hansi Flick. And I think the increased capacity of the stadium will also add to that as well. So I think it'll just be a lot of hype and excitement for the fans to finally watch their team play at the Camp Nou again. And I'm sure the players will reciprocate that same feeling. So yeah, I can for sure see the Camp Nou renovations being an additional advantage for Barcelona. The signing of Kyle Walker for Burnley took me by surprise, to be honest. I heard nothing about it in the news, and it's honestly one of the most random transfers I've seen in the recent years. He still does bring so much Premier League experience and leadership, and with Burnley coming up, I don't think they'll be good enough unless they strengthen their squad a little bit more during this offseason to actually stay up in the Premier League. I am expecting them to be on the defensive side of the game a lot of the time and playing without the ball, which I think Kyle Walker can help with that, as at his best is a great one-on-one defender, locking up the likes of Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe in big Champions League matches. This is a really good question. However, I think it's a little too early to tell if Crystal Palace can make a run in Europe next season. Just because, this season just ended, we don't know what the team's going to look like next year. I'm assuming a lot of the core players will stay, and now that they're in Europe, they need to have some depth, right? Because Crystal Palace is a team used to playing one match a week. Now you're playing two games in a week. It's a big difference playing on a Wednesday or a Thursday because they're in the Europa League, and then on a Saturday or Sunday, right, for the most part. So I think Oliver Glasner will stay. And like other teams, Newcastle struggled. However, Aston Villa made it far in the Champions League. And now with the new European Leagues format, could be difficult for them. I think on paper their team is good. As you can see now, United and Tottenham, two teams that Crystal Palace has beaten before, are playing in the Europa League final. It'll be tough. It will be tough to them. I think they could go on a deep run, but I think it really lies down mainly to Oliver Glasner just staying there as the coach because he's been great, and signing some players, recruiting some players in the summer just to have a deeper squad, because when you go into European Cup competitions playing more than one game a week, you need a deep team because, injuries will happen during the season. It's a long season. So I think if they do those things, they definitely have a great chance of going far in the Europa League next year. I want to first start off with giving a huge congratulations and shout out to Crystal Palace for winning the FA Cup, the first major trophy in the club's history. That's huge for the players that were able to create history for the club and for the fans and supporters as well. So I was also happy for Crystal Palace to have won the FA Cup. Regarding Pep's future with City, I do think he will return to the club next year, as he did sign a contract that keeps him at City till 2027 as manager. City have won 13 of 24 domestic trophies, which is more than a half, which is actually insane to think about. You have to also can't forget that he's won 4 Premier Leagues in a row. He's won the domestic 4, a 100-point season, a Champions League treble. He has done a lot for the club as well. And he has made some new signings now with Marmoush, which was a top player in the Bundesliga for Frankfurt. Kusanov and Vitor Rice, young defenders, and now Nico Gonzalez recently, just to help stabilize and bolster the midfield a little bit. What up, Spirit Sports listeners and fans? My name's Nicholas Lampiris. I was the sports correspondent for the summer episodes, and with this last episode of the summer, well, first I wanted to give a big thank you to everyone at Spirit Sports Podcast for giving me the privilege to be in the position of a sports correspondent. I really loved being involved in an episode each week, giving my 2 cents on some sports topics that I'm passionate about. I really loved it and enjoyed it, and hope to do it again soon in the future, or next year perhaps. But for now, I will be reverting back to a special guest position for the Spirited Sports Podcast. So you'll probably see me not every episode, but every few episodes, giving my thoughts and opinions and ideas about certain things that are going on in the soccer world. But yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know that. And again, a big thanks to everyone for listening to the podcast and helping it grow. And a big thanks to everyone at the Spirited Sports for giving me the chance and the privilege to help be a part of the team of Spirited Sports and get to just share my thoughts and opinions about sports. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. And peace out.